and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. So this week, we're gutting out the last couple of episodes of Veronica Mars before the season finale of season 3, or the series finale, depending on how you look at it.
Right.
We doubled up because Zoey's Extraordinary Playlist was off this week due to the Oscars. Something we once would have probably talked about on this podcast.
We would have, and now we just don't care.
So, these 2 episodes, they were 18 and 19. I know what you'll do this summer, and Weevils wobble, but they don't go down, which wasn't the original. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
It was.
And that
I believe they don't go down for the crime, I guess.
I guess.
It amongst their many, many bad pun titles, that was one of the more labored.
Yes.
And that is saying something, because
yes, it certainly is. After debasement tapes and many others. Yes. So, well, the first one we watched, I Know What You'll Do This Summer. So this was sort of not everybody, but several of the main characters discussing what they're going to do in the summer and sort of the relationship fallout from some of that.
Right.
First of all, I need to mention that in the episode prior to this, Veronica and Piz had kissed at Logan's party, and then they were sort of trying to ignore the fact that they had done that.
Yes.
In episode 17. Now in 18, they're totally together.
They're totally together to such a degree that taking an internship far away is a matter of angst.
Right.
What the heck?
So I feel like we skipped some steps.
I do.
And I also, in the podcast...
We should say it's Veronica Mars Investigations podcast, which we dip into every 3 episodes now because they have been grouping their episodes that way because they want to get through this season quickly, just like us.
Right. And so they were discussing in their episodes 17, 18, and 19, and somewhere in there they mentioned that Parker breaks up with Logan because he's still into Veronica.
That is not a thing that happened.
It didn't happen, right? I mean, that wasn't
I was wondering about that, too.
Yeah.
Did I fast forward through that part accidentally or fall asleep or, these are possible things, but...
Right. And I mean, it certainly would be a legitimate thing for her to do, and I have no doubt that, maybe it happened off screen or maybe it happens in the episode 20 that we haven't seen yet. But anyway, that was just a little...
Yeah, that was
another
weird.
Little hiccup.
So there's relationship drama all over the place that is unmerited, really, because none of these people have known each other all that long. None of them should be basing their futures on the happiness of this particular relationship. And
especially for a single summer.
Yes. And also, aren't they freshmen? Do you have career-defining internships the summer after your freshman year? What the heck does the FBI want with a freshman from Hearst College?
Right.
I do not understand. And Pitchfork want with...
Yes.
Noted radio legend Piz Kuznarski from Hearst College. We got to get that dude.
Oh, boy. Yes. The one, sort of summer storyline that felt significant here was the return of Dick Casablancas, the elder.
Yes, when we had long forgotten that he even existed still.
Yes. Comes back and says he wants to spend some time with Dick before he goes to jail. Because, Dick is the only member of his family that is still alive.
Yeah. Hate the dad. Hate the whole setup, but love the plot development of Dick actually having a crisis of conscience.
Right. And having some real remorse about how he treated his brother, Cassidy, to the point where he even realized, like, oh, he killed other people. Like, he didn't just kill himself. He killed other people, and we treated him very terribly. And that is why he's an awful...
And I had not thought about the fact that, yes, he did splat on the sidewalk right outside the hotel where this dude is now living. So that's got to be a little something every time you go out.
Right.
And he hasn't shown any depth for quite a while. I mean, I think originally right afterwards, maybe at the beginning of this season, it seemed like he was going to have some trauma, and then he just pasted it over with his usual dickishness.
Right.
And so it's good to see that again. Give Ryan Hansen a little acting stretch there in the home stretch.
Right.
But other than that, ew, is Logan thinking, geez, I'm glad my dad's dead, and I don't have to worry about this kind of thing happening. I'm never going to have to cancel a surf trip because of that, dude.
Right. And then, of course, because, as they also pointed out on the podcast, the show is always about who's your daddy.
Yes.
The mystery of the week, the case of the week, was this African student who had written a book about being a child soldier, and then some guy kind of came out of the woodwork saying, I think he's my son, and there was a whole plot about whether he was or wasn't, and whether this guy was a fraud or not, and it was, again, like, no one cares, because we've never seen this person before, we'll never see him again.
Fairly standard case of the week.
Right. Yes.
But apparently has some connection to a cause that the actors were behind. And so obviously this episode was created and kept on the schedule to highlight that issue, which, good for them. That's fine.
Yeah.
If you're going to have a throwaway plot of the week, it might as well be doing some good.
In service of an actual cause. Yes.
Right.
Yes. So then the next one, Weevils wobble, but they don't go down. Once again, Weevil is accused of a crime that he did not commit.
I do kind of love how Veronica's like, how could anybody have known you were an ex-con? And he's like, when you used me as an exhibit in your class presentation. Oh, that. Right. Yeah.
And then she says, does not go back to the which is really irritating, the way she said that.
I mean, it was irritating when she did it, and for it now to come home to roost for him is so uncool.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah, so this was a whole thing where a whole large group of apparently wealthy students were making fake IDs, fake college IDs, but the thing was that they were actually debit cards, so it's not like they're just using them to get into bars and get busted by Keith. But instead they are used like money. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
This was another whole thing where the wave... Oh, no. Someone's going to print. Well, we'll have to take a short break while this prints.
Just as long as they're not printing out fake IDs. You sure?
Oh, well, maybe
Is it a cribbed college paper?
No. Okay, it's done.
Agenda of a surfing trip? Application to FBI internship? No. Completely
a ballot for the sheriff's election.
Man. That's... Yeah. Are we going to get to that, or are we there now?
Well, we can... Yeah, I mean, unless there's anything else we want to say about the whole, ID card scam.
It's like, well, we only got 2 episodes left. Let's just do one more case about insufferable rich kids.
Right.
This used to be our bread and butter. Let's just get one. Let's get a whole bunch of them so we can gather them all together in a room. Being all entitled, have Veronica tell them off.
And while we're at it, let's put Weevil in peril one more time.
Yes. And okay, so apparently our remaining story arc having dispatched the campus rapist and the murder of both the dean and the basketball coach in no time at all, our remaining arc is this stupid sheriff special election between Keith and Vinnie Van Lowe, who I agree, they were talking on the podcast how, Cliff is no longer having fun with Keith because they are now on opposite sides of the law. And Vinnie has turned from a lovable goof to this person who's going to take Keith down. It's not fun. It's not funny. I do not want this to be what it goes out on. I really, as I've said before, Neptune deserves to have Vinnie Van Lowe as his sheriff in the pocket of the Fitzpatricks. Enjoy yourselves, idiots. And Keith needs to go someplace else. Yes. Veronica's going to Virginia, apparently. Go join her there for the summer. And then get a job anywhere else in the United States. I beg of you.
Right.
But at the same time, I don't necessarily need to see all this. Vinny is suddenly a super clever, smooth antagonist. I don't want that. He's so much fun when he's just a low-life goof. Exactly. Why did they feel they needed to make him into this person who's just going to mess up Keith at every turn?
Yeah.
Really, you guys? Come on.
Yeah. No, thank you.
So I have to admit, I fast-forwarded through the radio show portion because I could tell where it was going to go, and I just, no.
Yeah.
I'm not
the best part of that whole segment was when Veronica at the end smacked Vinny in the head.
I may have to rewind to see that part, but I figured the podcast would let me know if I was right, and it did, and I was. Yes. So it just makes me sad. And then, of course, finally, at the very, very end of the second episode, we got to the plot development I knew was coming sometime this season because it was mentioned in the movie, which is sex tape. I thought sure the episode called Debasement Tapes was going to be that. I was all braced for it. How they could have wasted that title and not had it be for this, I do not know. But they snuck it on in there. And
now they have one episode left to explain who made it or how it happened.
How it happened and, just how badly Logan messed up his. I don't mind him beating the snot out of his. I gotta admit, as they were talking about on the podcast that they're presenting Piz as the nice guy choice, but he's not really that nice. And I don't think he's not nice. He's just, it's hard to get beyond that haircut, honestly.
Also the name.
He's just shaggy inoffensiveness. And I was amused when Veronica had that line about she's not missing the roller coaster ride, in the dizziness and nausea or something like that. And it reminded me, since I'm listening to a lot of Fearless Taylor's version, as I promoted last week, she has a song about just that, you give up the bad guy that treats you badly. I'm going to find somebody who's going to treat me good. And you find that guy and he's so nice and he's nice, your father likes him and everything's great, but you kind of miss the crazy of the guy who treats you bad. So I think Veronica's going to be singing that song at some point because it's just, there's something about, the angst-ridden bad boy is always going to be kind of irresistible. At least to somebody like Veronica. And Piz is just so not that.
Nope.
And
it is not.
Dumb Bunny, don't give up the New York internship to work at a radio station in Neptune because of a girl you've been dating for weeks who's
not even going to be there.
Yes, and who somewhere deep down is still in love with another guy. So really, just go to New York, honestly.
I know. It's just one stupid. Summer, like people. I mean, I get it. It seems like a long time when you're 18, but like it's not.
Honestly. And then, poor Parker. She gets herself onto the South American trip and tells her parents she's not going back home. And then the trip gets canceled and so she has to go back home. She should just let them think she's in South America.
Yeah.
And just go absolutely anywhere else but there.
Right.
Get her, see if she can. Weevil's got the machine now to make the fake IDs. I bet he'd make her one. But she can only use that on Hearst College. Darn.
Yeah, it doesn't get you that far when you're
she can probably live in the dorms over the summer. Nobody would say anything. Her parents, could they make her parents any more awful?
Oh, God.
No bagels for you, girl.
Mm-mm. They were almost as bad as Meg's parents, except they probably were not going to make her hide in a closet.
She probably doesn't have a little sister locked in the closet, but I think that her parents and Meg's parents could have a pleasant dinner together out someplace.
Yes, they would have a lot to talk about.
That's right. Oh, man. Hey, not good. But, Parker, you're going to get your heart broke. Girl, I hate to tell you. One way or the other. Mm-hmm. Find Piz after he gets his heart broken and you guys go off into the sunset. Except I know you don't, because at the beginning of the movie, I think Veronica and Piz are together, so.
And Parker tried to get with Piz.
She did, and he was not interested because he had only eyes for Veronica.
Yes, exactly.
And how could there be anybody else but Veronica? She's clearly the smartest blonde on that campus.
She's clearly the only choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So there we are with
one more episode
to go. So next week, Zoey will be back. It's called Zoey's Extraordinary Double Date. And then the finale of season 3. It's called The Bitch Is Back.
Oh, boy.
And we'll listen to the Veronica
What would I give for it to be a return of Ghost Lily? Would that be arranged? She wasn't too nice. That could apply to her. I want Ghost
fantastic.
Lily. Make it happen. Showrunners, come on. I bet Amanda Seyfried could come for one day.
Right. Please.
That's what this show is missing.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah, she brought so much to season 1.
I think Ghost Lily would have some choice words for Veronica.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yes.
Veronica needs to hear them.
We would be here for that. We forgot to talk about this. So, the Veronica Mars Investigations podcast has an episode on that episode, the finale, but they also have one on the whole season 3 overall.
Oh, gee.
Do we want to listen to both?
We'll listen to both, yes.
Okay.
Yes, because I want to be done with this season. One more week. I don't want to... No loose ends. Right. Let's just get it done. Let's get out of here.
Yes.
Hey.
So... next week we'll watch the finale of Veronica Mars season 3, The Bitch Is Back, plus listen to the Veronica Mars Investigations podcast episodes. They have one devoted to that episode, and then they have one devoted to the entire season.
So is there some exciting Veronica Mars style action going on at your house? It sounds like people are yelling.
I know. I'm sorry.
Has somebody been found to be, using fake tests, or, is there an investigatable crime? Should we call Veronica Mars up, or is it just family members?
It's just
not respecting the podcasting space.
That's what it is. Mm. You've nailed it.
Piz would feel our pain.
Yes, he would. As an audio professional, he would.
Maybe I'm going to have to start liking that kid. Nah.
Well, that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Goodbye, Catherine and family.